Between Pesach and Shavuot. Next week, obviously, we're off. It's the holiday itself. And the week after, hopefully, we'll have a few more classes until the summer, and then hopefully we'll go back to Deal and continue there. So what we've done over the past month or so was identify a few things that our rabbis discuss in Pirkei Avot that really alter, hamper, or sometimes even wreck people's lives. And the first one was when people actually get into their own way and destroy themselves, put their skull in the water. And the second one was when people basically look around at the people around them and count on them to determine how successful they're going to be. And the third one, which took 2 weeks, was last week and the week before, was how money challenges our lives. You all remember those classes. To me, this is the final one, and this will hopefully prepare us for Shavuot as well. And this to me is in some way affects a lot of people who don't know this rule. Affects their lives and sometimes in dramatic ways, and sometimes they don't really realize how much it affects their lives until it's too late. And that is people who think that they can lead a successful life without Torah in it. There are a lot of people who think that, you know what, I'm a good person, I'm a moral person, I give some charity and I'm nice to people, and this is what my lifestyle is, and this is what I do, and why can't I be successful and lead a happy life that way? There's a lot of people who feel, so you know what, so I don't do everything, or I don't do most things, or I don't believe in most things, or I'm not, but it doesn't matter. I'm a good person, and so therefore I'm going to lead a nice, good life. Torah, maybe I'll have a little bit every now and then, a couple of holidays, but that's basically my life. Anyone here ever meet someone or people who feel this way? Is there anyone in this room who feels this way? Okay. So we're going to try to explain and understand today how critical Torah is in our life and how much of a difference it makes in our life and why it's so important for us, for our families, for our children, in order to lead successful lives for ourselves to have Torah. And hopefully, like I said, these concepts will prepare us for Shavuot, which is coming in less than a week. There is, and we're going to focus on the final Mishnah in the final chapter of Pirkei Avot. It's sort of a close to Pirkei Avot. In many classes, they end the class with this little Mishnah. Many men's classes or learning boys' classes, they'll end with this Mishnah, and then they'll say Kaddish. It's a very, very, very famous Mishnah. And we're going to try to focus on this one to hopefully capture everything we're trying to talk about. And it goes as follows. Rabbi Hananya ben Akashya Omer. Rabbi Hananya, the son of Akashya, used to say, Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu lezakot et Yisrael. God wanted to bring zechut, He wanted to bring merits and make it good for the Jewish people. Lefikach yirba lahem Torah u'mitzvot. And therefore He added more Torah and more mitzvot. Shene'amar, like the pasuk says, Adonai chapes leman tzedko. God wants to make us righteous. Yadil Torah v'yadir. He made the Torah, He built it up and He made it great. That's the Mishnah. God wanted to give us zechuyot. He wanted to make it good for us. And so therefore He gave us a lot of Torah and a lot of mitzvot. This is the Mishnah. So, first of all, are you distracted by the fact that it's dark? Or just driving me crazy? Okay, because I'm just telling you, it's like worse than having someone with a cell phone keep ringing. Like that's what it feels like. Apparently these 3 lights are out, which I guess is not crazy. The rain this morning really wreaked havoc on people's flooded basements and chaos. Nah, it's dark. I need bright. We should go outside. Tell me what it is. Nah, it doesn't help me that much. It is what it is. Don't worry. Got to be ready for everything. Okay. But what does the Mishnah mean when it says that these having a lot of mitzvot, what does it mean that God wanted to give us more zechuyot, so He gave us a lot of mitzvot? Many commentaries ask a question and say it's actually the opposite, because the more mitzvot you got, the more mistakes you have a chance of making, and the more mess-ups you have. So the more, basically, more mitzvot means much more sins. If we only had one or two mitzvot, it would be nice and simple. You do that one or two mitzvot, you'd be great. 613 is almost impossible to keep them all. It's crazy to keep them all. And so you're basically setting us up for much more failure. So what do you mean? You're giving us more zechuyot by giving us a lot of mitzvot. So there are two classic answers. The classic answer of the Rambam is that mitzvot, that the way God put us on this world to do all the mitzvot, but He wants every Jew to do one mitzvah perfectly. And our job in this world is to find one mitzvah that we do exact, 100% with total pure intentions. And so God gave us 613 mitzvot so that we can find one that you're able, that fits with you, that you understand, that you're able to appreciate, or you're skilled at. The cell phone and the lights are done. Now, but if you're one mitzvah that you're able to be strong at, you're able to be pure at, and if you're able to master that mitzvah, that gives you a great reward in Olam Haba. So therefore, God gave us a lot of options so that we could at least hit one with a bullseye. And you can think in your mind right now, for yourself, what that one would be. One mitzvah that you can do fabulously, that you can do with pure intent. The second explanation is from the Sefer HaChinuch and the Ramban, and that is that God gives us a ton of mitzvot so that we're able to have an abundance of actions, and so that God can make everything we're doing into a mitzvah, and so that therefore we can end up amassing an unbelievable amount of quantity. Because you can wake up in the morning, you can do a mitzvah, how you talk to your neighbor, you can do a mitzvah, you talk to your parents, you can do a mitzvah, how you dress, how you eat, what you do, everything can be a mitzvah. And so therefore God, in other words, is giving us a lot of chances to hit a lot of jackpots. And even though we probably won't get any one of them perfect, and we may not have quite the quality that we would love, but at least we end up getting quantity. So God says, if I give you one mitzvah, then you might do that or you might not do it so well, and then you're going to have this half-baked mitzvah. Instead, I'll give you a lot of them, and you might not get the quality, but you'll get the quantity. You'll have a ton. Good. So the Rambam is saying we have so many, so we should hit quality. The Rambam and the Sefer HaChinuch are saying that we have a lot, so that we can get the quantity. I have a little bit of a different thought that I think explains this Mishnah well. And the commentaries ask, like, what does this Mishnah even have to do with Pirkei Avot? How is it related to Pirkei Avot? I was thinking about this the other day. I said, when I think about certain mitzvot, I think about like how really hard and impossible and annoying they are. I'm serious. When you think about Shabbat, like every week, I have to stop. I can't even turn on a light. I want to make a phone call just to a friend to tell them to meet me somewhere on Saturday morning. I can't do so. I have to be careful about the refrigerator light going on when I open it. The food that I take out has to be cooked, and it's basically going to be soggy in the morning. I can heat it, I can't heat it, I can take this, I can't pull this out, I can't turn on a radio, I can't turn into a car, I just need a simple little thing. It really is like a lot, and it's hard. It's hard. It really is hard. And then you start to grow up. And then you start to mature. And then you start to have a family and start to live a life. And you start to say to yourself, oh my goodness, it's the greatest thing I ever got. It's the greatest thing ever. And it's not great because of the kibbutz. It's great because of the fact that I can't turn on the light, because you can't cook, because I can't call my friend, because I can't get into a car, and I can't respond to an email, and I can't use the radio. Because of all those things I can't do, Saturday is the greatest day of the week. It's unbelievable how good it is. It's not normal. It's like you just decided to force me to just move into a mansion once a week and just chill and own the place. It doesn't make sense. In fact, this weekend I appreciated this past Shabbat more. You remember this summer once, and I told you about how my whole family left me for Shabbat and left me alone? Well, I said it in the summer. This Shabbat they did it again to me. Apparently I'm a great father, okay? This is the truth. I had to stay here to do my job. My family had a, share berachot deal. The whole family is gone, just me. And I really missed my family, my wife, and my kids. I really, really missed them. But you know what? Shabbat was still awesome. And it's unbelievable. Just Shabbat is phenomenal. It doesn't matter if the food's good, if the food's burnt, if the food's soggy. It doesn't matter if there are people there, if there are not people there. Just the fact that you force me to shut down is the greatest gift ever. I'll give you another one. I don't know if you've ever seen the face of a teenage boy the first time they hear about the laws or the concept of nidah. Okay? Their world turns upside down a little bit. They thought they're going to get married, and they had one idea, and now all of a sudden you tell them these laws and some of the details of the laws, and you can't be serious. You can't be serious. This Torah is crazy. This Torah is crazy. You're married. Before marriage, I understand this law. You're married. Come on. Can't the Torah it's married. It's not fair. It doesn't make any sense. You're archaic. You're joking. You're kidding me. You're exaggerating. It's way too much, too heavy, Rabbi. I understand. People are not married. There's laws, but once you're married, you're married. Then go do me a favor and look up tonight, okay? Go check up how many people are bored in their marriage. Boredom in marriage. Forget people that are fighting, that are uneasy, that have issues. I'm not talking about issues. Just bored. Then you find me and go poll religious people and find out how many of them are bored in their marriage. Hashem put a mitzvah, and Hashem said, I'm going to give you a wedding once a month. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you this unbelievable chance to build up, to add excitement, to add enthusiasm, to add everything to change your whole marriage. Yes, it's a little rough, but you know what? I'm going to make your marriage unbelievable. You can be married for 30 years, and it's still going to be an exciting marriage. Yes, I understand, 18-year-old boy, you can't picture that that's going to make sense. I understand when a couple first gets married and they can't believe they have to keep these laws. But I'm telling you, to go try 10, 5, 10, or 15 years later and see what the laws do to your marriage, it's an unbelievable, ridiculous gift. I'll give you another one. This day, I don't know, but I dread this day every year. I get nervous for it. I get a little pit in my stomach like 2 weeks before. There's this one day a year where all of a sudden I can't eat anything, where you force me to pray all day and all night. I'm tired, I'm nervous, I'm worn out, I'm serious. From the middle of the summer, I already start to get scared, nervous, and dread a little bit, to be honest with you, Yom Kippur. So I thought about it for a minute. Imagine life without it. Imagine life without that one day that you can sort of rethink your whole life and your whole direction. Without that one day to really forgive and forget and give up on all the mistakes that happened over the past year and the past years. Imagine life without one day to sort of totally, quote-unquote, detox the whole system and get everything negative out of the system and start again. Yes, it's nerve-wracking. Yes, it's scary, but it's awesome. I'll give you another example. This law. People hear this law and they say that this can't be. This is like it's like the Torah really doesn't trust me. The Torah doesn't believe? I don't get it. There's a law of yichud. You know what that means? That means that if a man is alone in a room with a woman, they have to have the door open, can't be there more than a minute, door open, windows, so on. Come on. You don't trust me? I'm a good man. I'm married, a beautiful family. Are you serious that you're really worried about this man, father of kids? You have to be, you're so judgmental. You're so untrusting of me as a person. You're untrusting of that other woman in the room. I mean, come on, it's just a room. Nothing's happening. We're talking business. We're selling something. We're buying something. This is not a big deal, you know. You teal a little bit. Open the door. Make sure. Be careful. Unlock. Come on. There's a maid in the house. I have to be. Come on. It's not such a big deal. You're serious? You really don't trust me that much? I'm a good person. I've been a good person for 30 years. You don't trust me? Really? Again, go online and check the statistics of how much immorality happens in the workplace. I saw two different stats. One said that 47% of men said that they've fallen in the business. Another stat said 54% had fallen in the business. And then in the first one they said 47% did something and 19% would if they had the chance. Which means almost 70% of men said that they fell in an office. That somehow in the office caused them to be distracted. So you know what God says? I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to make it easy. Door stays open at all times. No one's not trusting. You just walk in through them, you say, I'm sorry, that's the law. I have to open. It's not because I don't trust you. It's not because I suspect anything. God forbid. It's just that's the law. And I could keep going on and on about how many mitzvot we were given that seem so annoying to a superficial person. But anybody who understands and appreciates life looks at it and says, these are unbelievable. It's like you're forcing me to go on vacation, forcing me to eat a steak, forcing me to enjoy my life. You say, I have to do it. Okay, no problem. I'll have my Sunday. You have to. You have to keep Nidan, you have to keep Shabbat, and you have to pray, and you have to keep Yom Kippur, and you have to keep Yichud, and you have to learn, and you have to keep one law to another, and each one makes my life unbelievable. God says, I want to make life great for you. That's why I gave you mitzvot. It's like I'm forcing you to go on vacation, and forcing you to eat a meal, and forcing you to have ice cream sundae, and forcing you to have better and better and better and better your life. And so God wanted to make life great for the Jewish people. And so He gave us mitzvot. This concept clear or not so clear? But the Mishnah also says, Lefikach, because of this, Hirba lahem, He made more for them, Torah u'mitzvot. Not just He gave us a lot of mitzvot, but He gave us a lot of Torah. What does it mean He gave us a lot of Torah? If you said mitzvot, you basically covered everything. What does that mean He gave us a lot of Torah? So in order to appreciate what our Torah gave us, I'm going to give you a little mashal. You know, basically, every society has morals. And every society has values. And every society, in almost any normal civilized place, has things and beliefs. What makes our Torah so special? So I'm going to give you a little mashal. There was once a young man. This young man bought himself a beautiful new Armani suit. Beautiful suit. Spent a lot of money on the suit. He didn't hear last week's class, okay? And beautiful suit. And the suit, you know, he's planning, I don't know what. He's going to sit courtside at a basketball game and wear this new suit. The only thing is the suit was 2 inches too long. So, he decides he's going to go, he comes home, and the boy goes to his mother, and he says, Ma, can you do me a favor? She's in the kitchen, can you do me a favor? Can you have my suit 2 inches? Ike, you can't be serious. Look at me. I'm making dinner. I'm putting kids to sleep. I have things to worry about. Your father's coming home soon. Holidays are coming. I'm cooking. I'm preparing. You want me to do your suit? I'm sorry. I can forget it. Okay, Mom. So he goes upstairs to his older sister, Rachel. Comes into the room. Rachel, can you do me a favor? Mommy doesn't have time. Can you hem your suit? Are you serious? You know what I'm doing? I'm very busy. I'm in college. I'm dating somebody. I'm busy. I'm on the phone. I'm taking care of things. I have a lot of work to do. You have the audacity to even come and ask me? I'm posting pictures. I got things to do. I don't have time to go hem your suit. You're serious? So he goes to his younger sister's room. Sarah, can you do me a favor? Please. You got to be kidding me. Since when do you come? When was the last time you did something for me? Are you serious, Ike? You want me to go and hem your suit 2 inches? I have homework. I have friends. I have things. You're the last thing on my mind, Ike. I'll see you later. So the poor boy, okay, he goes down to the basement. And he says, can you do me a favor? Maria, can you do me a favor? Can you hem my suit? Oh, I'm so sorry, Senor Ike. I apologize. You know, you're my holiday. Come, I go Aruba. I go back to Colombia. I don't know. I don't have a sorry. So the poor kid goes to his room, hangs up his suit, goes to sleep. 11 o'clock at night, his mother takes off the apron, cleans out the kitchen. She says, you know what, I feel bad, Hazir Ike. I kicked him out of the kitchen. So she goes upstairs, and she says, you know, let me do me a favor. She takes the suit out of the closet, and she hangs the suit 2 inches. 12 o'clock at night, Rachel's boyfriend dumps her. She says, you know what? Ike's a cute little brother. He's the only guy who cares about me. He's the most innocent kid in the world. I kicked her out. I said, you know what? She goes into the room and she hems 2 inches. 1 o'clock in the morning, Sarah says, you know, the poor guy, the truth is he really does always help me out. He gets me water from the first floor whenever I need it. How'd I just kick him out of the room? 2 inches. 6 a.m. in the morning, Maria wakes up and she says, oh, sorry, Senor Ike, I feel so bad. Oh, you're such a beautiful boy. Goes to the closet. The poor guy wakes up, 8 o'clock in the morning, puts on the suit. He's not sitting courtside at the Knicks game. He's playing for the Knicks. Society's morals are like that. Every generation and every society cuts off their own 2 inches. And decides, we'll do it this way, we'll do it this way, we'll do it this way. And what you end up with is shorts. You end up with such a distorted version of what real values and morals are. The Torah gave us 2 gifts. It gave us the mitzvot, and it gave us the Torah. So much of the Torah is not, you must do this. So much of the Torah is just a way to live. Watch Abraham. Follow Rachel. Listen to what Rivka did. Look at how Yitzchak acted. Follow the leadership of Moshe Rabbeinu. God says, I'm going to do 2 things to change your life. Number 1, I'm going to give you mitzvot. And number 2, I'm going to give you Torah. A Torah that never changes. Torah that's values go from generation to generation. It worked 4,000 years ago, and it works today. And the values never change. And the ideals never change. And they work then, and they work now, and they'll work in 5,000 years from now. The Torah just is steady and constant and always beautiful. Not, we cut it this way, and you cut it that way, and we cut it this way, until you end up with a total distorted version of what a value is. And just in case you don't appreciate this fully, I'm going to give you an example. And I apologize, I don't know if I should use this kind of example, but it makes the point, so you know me, I say it. Here we go. Last week, there was a basketball player who decided to tell the world how he lives. If that's fair enough, are we clear? Everyone here knows the story I'm talking about? Yes? Good. I think everyone besides my wife. Good. Okay? You got the story? Good. This basketball player decided to tell the world what he does. And you know what? To hear a story that a man is like that, I guess it's obviously not very surprising, not the biggest chidush in the world. But to me, what was unbelievable is the world's reaction. Everywhere. Every media place across the country. Every newspaper, practically every blog, every TV show, every radio show, everything. Courageous. He's unbelievable. Wow, the president mentioned his courage. The former president mentioned his courage. Famous people, important people, the daughter of the former president. His courage, actors, singers, everyone. Wow, look at him. Are you serious? I turned on a radio show one night, I turned a radio show one night, and they were actually talking sports, and I got to tell you something, there's nothing dumber in the world than sports talk radio. The only thing dumber than sports talk radio is sports talk radio about this. So, turns it on, and this is the debate on the show, I'm serious. Is he a hero, or is he a role model? That's the subject. No, he's a hero. No, I think he's a role model. No, I think he's a hero. Am I right? It's dumber than dumb. But do you believe, it's not that, okay, they accept something. They're excited about something. How about the president calling up an NBA player who's actually married to a woman for more than 5 years and have all his kids from one lady? How about that one? How about calling that courage? No. Instead, the courage is for some guy who's, are you serious? The country has gone absolutely mad. It's not that they do certain things and they accept it. You know, okay, they accept tattoos and they accept cursing and lying. They accept that. No. This is now heroic. It's now something to be proud of, to look up to. I'm waiting for 20 years from now when this fellow, when we have President Collins, when this guy's president of the country and he's calling up some other fellow who's married to a dog and calling his courage. Now you think it's a funny joke. I'm telling you that the world, the values of the world have gone absolutely mad. And our Torah just stays the same. And our Torah's values never change. That's why we're lucky. And that's why if you think that you can live without Torah, you don't know how mistaken you are. And the beauty of our Torah is that it has, you know how today they have an app for everything? There's like 500,000 apps. That's a literal number. 500,000 Apple apps. The Torah has an app for everything. The Torah has an advice, a direction, an instruction for every nuance of your life. And some people feel restricted and overwhelmed by it. It's so backwards. It's like feeling restricted. You must have a steak tonight. Okay, no problem. And tomorrow night you must have a birthday party. No problem. Till next day you must go on a vacation. You're forcing me? Yes, I'm forcing you. Thanks. That's what every aspect of the Torah, when you see it and watch it and appreciate it and understand it, you see that it is not here to suffocate you. It's here to lift you. So we're going to do with the conclusion, the last few minutes of the class, is I want to tell you how to get that and how to appreciate that and how to feel that. There's a Mishnah in Pirkei Avot that describes the life of Torah. And to be honest with you, I think we gave a class on it last year. To be honest with you, the details are a little tough to hear. It says you sleep on the floor and you eat bread and water and salt, and that's the life of Torah. And if you do this, you're going to have a great in this world and in the next world. So last year we gave a whole class on trying to understand what does it mean you sleep on the floor and the salt and the bread. That's not for now. But it basically, the Mishnah then, it sticks in these two words in the middle that are funny. Im ata oseh ken. If you do this. What does that mean, if you do this? I think what the Mishnah is saying is like this. Is that if you want to appreciate Torah, you have to be willing to really do it. There are way too many people who like to dabble in Torah. They like to check it a little, and that's it. You know what? I'll go to shul for an hour and come home. I'll sit back in the class and get a couple of nice things, and that's it. That's not Torah. Torah is you jump all the way in. Im ata oseh ken means you're really willing to do it and do it right. It means that, and doesn't mean you have to do everything all at once. But it means if you decide to do something, really do it. Let's say a person who doesn't do Netilat Yadayim in the morning and decides they're going to do Netilat Yadayim. I took a nice, safe example, okay? And he says, you know what I'm going to do? Don't just, stick your hands. No, learn the laws. Do it really right. Each hand the right way. Say the berachah at the right time. Draw your hands the right way. Do it real, and then you'll get what you get out of it. You want to check out Shabbat, and then, you know what, I do it basically okay, assuming that I have nothing that's too stressful. That's not Shabbat. You want to do Shabbat right? Learn the laws and do it real. Wear your Shabbat clothes. Enjoy the Shabbat. Enjoy the meal. Learn the laws. Keep it well. Because when you keep it well is when you get the benefits from it. And I could give you one example after another, all the same. When you're doing something, do it real. I didn't say you have to do everything tomorrow. I didn't say that if you did some, that means you did nothing. But I'm saying if you want to appreciate it, because you go and find me one person who does a mitzvah right, and the right way and a real way, that says, you know what, I can't stand doing this. You go find me one person who says, you know what, I really tried, I really understood it, I really appreciate it, and I can't handle it. It's always people like, nah, they're looking at it from the outside, it seems strange. And I want to tell you something, the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying about how you can't live life without Torah with so much confidence is I didn't have this kind of confidence in it 15 years ago or 20 years ago. Because you know what, I used to see people and see them living and say, wow, you know what, it looks like they're living a pretty good life and they don't have any Torah. So don't tell me that you really need Torah. And then God gave me this unbelievable opportunity to be a rabbi. And to get to see people and hear their stories and hear their problems and see over and over and over and over and over and over and over again that, you know what, no Torah, fail. No Torah, children, there you go. No Torah, marriage, there you go. Over and over and over and over again that Torah could have helped people's lives so much more. I remember this one couple, they had 3 kids or maybe 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls. Wonderful, they looked perfect, happy, good, great. Now, 15 years later, one kid got some wacky, crazy divorce. His wife just decided she had enough for like no reason at all. The other kid, I don't know, they're married, fighting against the in-laws. The other kid is going out with a goya. Now, one kid is married and good and happy. Turns out he's the only one who's religious. And I'm just telling you, that's just one story. I could give you another 20. Another 20 times where people, you know what? If you would just add Torah into your marriage, you just add Torah to your children, you just add Torah to your day, add Torah to your Shabbat, you don't know how much your life would change and how much it would help you. So number 1 is, if you want to really appreciate it, you have to really do it. Number 2 is, the Mishnah quotes a pasuk. And the pasuk we read before was, Hashem hafetz leman tzidko. God wants to make us righteous, and therefore, Yadil Torah v'Yadir. He lifted up and made the Torah great. What does that mean? He lifted up and made the Torah great. The beauty of the Torah is the Torah sees you way greater than you see yourself. The Torah, every mitzvah says, you know what, you think you can make it here, I think you can make it there. Every one of them. And I've heard so many times we say, oh, the Torah pushes us, the Torah subjugates us, the Torah suffocates us, the Torah disrespects women. Every statement of that is false. Whoever made that statement never opened the book or never really opened the book in their life. Anyone who sees anything right, sees the Torah, values us way more than we do. No. Joey, you think you could be okay? I think you could be unbelievable. Oh, lady, you think you're just, a woman, whatever? No, you are the most important person in the whole house. You're building your husband, your kid, you're number 1. And read it over in the Chumash, in the Gemara, in the Navi, everywhere. Women are greater and greater. Yes, you have other people who tell you, nah, the Torah puts down women, disrespects women. You crazy? You just never read it. Understand that the Torah's expectations from you are high. The Torah, our laws, are not laws to suffocate us. They Yadil Torah v'Yadir. To lift us up, to crown us, to make us greater than we can be. And again, ask a woman who really, or a person who really keeps the Torah properly, do they feel forced? Do they feel crippled? Or do they feel elevated? Do they feel important? Do they feel like they've accomplished and done and been and think in a so much healthier way than before they started? And one more thought. Is the Torah, there's a famous pasuk about the Torah, Deracheha Darchei Noam. The ways of the Torah are beautiful. And there are people sometimes who get a little turned off. Because they'll see someone who seems very extreme, or they'll see someone who seems to disagree a lot, or they'll see someone who seems not comfortable to be around, and they're like, that's not really what I want to be. Well, then let me tell you something. That's not really what Torah is. Torah is beautiful. If someone doesn't have beautiful life with Torah, it doesn't mean they don't have problems. But if someone isn't living and acting beautifully, they're messing up the Torah. But Torah is beautiful. There's a famous midrash that when the Jewish people received the Torah on Shavuot on Har Sinai, there was great noise and loud rumbling in the world. And so the nations of the world came to Bilam and they said, Bilam, what's going on? Is God bringing another flood? And Bilam said, no. Hashem oz la'amo yitan. God is giving his nation strength. He's giving them the Torah. And the rest of the nations responded and said, Hashem yivarech et amo b'shalom. God should bless his nation with peace. What's this give and take? Why are they thinking it's a flood? Why is he saying, no, you're getting it straight? And then they're also giving a blessing. What happened here? The answer is that the nations of the world saw the Jewish people. They say there was 3 million Jews approximately at that time, between men, women, and children. And they saw 3 million people perfectly united. And they said to themselves, the only way this kind of unity happens is when there's stress and there's problems. When did the most unified time in the history of this country that anyone in this room remembers was during 9/11, because we had problems, we unified. Usually, stress and fear. So the world says, they're all uniting. Maybe there's a flood coming. Maybe the world's about to get destroyed. That's why they're uniting. He says, He says, Hashem oz la'amo yitan. God is giving his nation this beautiful Torah. And when you have this beautiful Torah, it focuses you. It unifies you. It makes you a better person. It makes you a person who's not selfish and self-centered. It makes you a person focused on other people and other things and greater ideals. It makes you so much more beautiful than you were before. The nations of the world said, if that's the case, Hashem yivarech et amo b'shalom. Then God should bless them with peace. Because look at this beautiful gift that he gave them. To me, Torah in your life is like, and I've used this analogy before, is like a GPS. You ever use your navigation? And every now and then you print in your place where you're trying to go, and now you find yourself in the middle of nowhere, and somehow this is supposed to take you somewhere. And you're not sure exactly how this is going to work and how it's supposed to work, but the only thing you're not sure about is, did I type in the address right? But if you're sure the address is right, then you know it's taking you there, just you don't understand it right now in this minute. The Torah is the same thing. Sometimes we end up and we say, is this really? If you know where you're trying to go, and if you understand that the Torah is here to make you a beautiful person, it's here to make your life better and stronger and more enjoyable. If you understand that's your destination, then the Torah will get you there. But if you're going to use the Torah to fight, or use it to become an extremist, or use it to fill your ego, or use it to knock people, then you know what? Then you could distort it. You typed in the wrong destination, the wrong address. But if you have the right address in, it's going to take you to beautiful places. You cannot. A few days ago, someone called me up and he said, someone that you have some involvement in, it turns out this person is addicted to prescription drugs or whatever, pills, and they're going away to rehab. So he says, okay, why aren't you shocked, Rabbi? I said, tell you the truth, I was waiting for the phone call. He said, what do you mean you were waiting for the phone call? How do you know? He says, I just saw the kind of life the person's living. I said, there's no way that this person is not going to smash the car into a wall. There's no way that a person that's trying to drive without knowing where they're going and having any directions and having a GPS, there's no way they're not going to get lost. So I didn't know if it was going to be pills or something else, but I knew something was coming to destroy this life, because you can't do it without directions. You can't do it without having the Torah to lift you, to guide you, to make your life better. You just have to be willing to jump in. Before Shavuot, I want to give you 2 stories about people who understood and appreciated the value of Torah in their life. And then we'll conclude and hopefully have a great holiday. Like I said, next week, obviously, we're off. It's a holiday. But the week after, we'll come back and go back to Parashah. This story happened approximately 100 and change years ago. There was a young boy who was learning on Friday night at the Shabbat table after the meal was over. And the law back then was, it's always still the law today, but the law is if you have a light that's made out of oil or kerosene and you're learning to that light, someone has to watch you learn because you may tilt the lamp. So the boy, who had lost his father 2 years before, his mother would sit there at the table and watch him study. And so he did this every Friday night. This is the poorest home you've ever seen. 2 mats on the floor for beds. old table, a simple meal, and then the boy would study and his mother would watch. One Friday night, she's dozing off. So he can't learn. He closes the Gemara, and he sits there. And the mother all of a sudden wakes up, says, what happened? He says, no, Ma, it's okay. You're tired. You work 2 jobs just to support us. It's okay. Go to bed. She says, no, keep going. He says, Ma, it's okay. Go to bed. I'll learn tomorrow. She says, open the book and keep going. Because I can't sleep if I know that you're not learning. Understanding the value of Torah is what made that boy become Chacham Ezra. What made that boy become maybe the greatest Sephardi rabbi of the last century. What made is a parent who understands that Torah doesn't restrict your life. It makes your life. I'll give you one more story. This story happened maybe 80 years ago. Chacham Ezra Atiyah became the Rosh Yeshiva of Porat Yosef Yeshiva, the most famous Sephardi yeshiva in the world. And he had great students. He had one student who was extremely smart, extremely diligent, great student, who for 3 or 4 days in a row didn't show up in the yeshiva. So now the rabbi's nervous, uneasy. Where's the student? Where's the student? After 3-4 days, really not like him, he goes to the boy's house, knocks on the door. The father answers him. He says, Rabbi, what are you doing here? Is everything okay? He says, yeah, I just came to see. We miss your son. He's a great student. We love having him. He's not here. He says, oh, I'm sorry, Rabbi. You don't understand. I have a store. I have no money. I can't hire any help. He's the only person I can hire to help. And so I hired my son to help me in the store. So the rabbi says, but come on, your son is learning. He's studying. He's doing phenomenal. He says, Rabbi, I'm sorry. It's over. He can't do this. I need him in the store. He's helping in the store. I'm sorry, I can't afford anybody else. That's it. And the son is standing in the background watching the debate go back and forth and depressed watch as the rabbi just leaves and goes back to yeshiva. The next morning, the father comes into the store and he looks around and he sees behind the counter in his apron serving customers his Chacham Ezra Atiyah. He says, Rabbi, what are you doing here? He says, well, you said you needed someone to open the store. Your son came and opened the store. I told him, I said, you know what? It's so important to me that you go study. You go to the yeshiva, and I'll help your father in the store. Don't worry, sir. It's fine. I got the customer. Don't worry. These 3 customers came and went. They're good. I got it. I know the prices. I know I'm not. Father says, Rabbi, okay, I got it. You go back, and you can keep my son. It's okay. And it's a good thing he sent his son back to yeshiva, because that's why we have Chacham Ovadia Yosef today. That's a true story. But you can't just hear the story and say, wow, that's a nice story. You have to go and use the story. You have to go home and understand that Torah will change and create an unbelievable life for yourself. Hashem Chafetz, God says, I want to make the Jewish people's lives beautiful. So I gave them many mitzvot and all kinds of Torah, because I want them to be wearing beautiful suits. I want them to be well dressed in every generation, through every circumstance. I want to lift up their lives and perfect their lives and make it more enjoyable down here. And so therefore God says, I'm going to make your life beautiful with so many mitzvot and so much to watch and so much to follow. You just need these 3 things. You have to be ready to do it and really do it. You have to understand that the Torah never puts us down. All it does is lift us up. And number 3, you have to understand that the Torah is here to make your life beautiful. Hashem Oizlam Yiten. God is giving us strength. God is giving us power. God is giving us happiness. And if we look at it that way, Hashem Yevarech et Amo Bashalom. He'll bless us with peace. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen.